Ronaldo's onside, and the best player in the world scores for Brazil.
Picture it. The year is 1998. You're a school kid whose only goal in life is completing your Panini sticker book and watching as much of the World Cup in France as school hours and your parents will allow. 24/7 football coverage in the palm of your hand is over a decade away, but you know the superstars of the international game anyway. Zidane, Carlos, Batistuta, Rivaldo. You know them from Shoot magazine, Match, and maybe 442 if you've saved up your pocket money. Football Italia, maybe the occasional Champions League game, they help too, if you're lucky enough to stay up to watch them. But there was one player who existed on a different level. One player whose sticker you wanted more than any other. One player whose name echoed around every school playground, whose boots everyone wanted, and whose goals felt almost mythical because you so rarely got to see them. Ronaldo. To millions, he wasn't simply the best striker in the world. He was football's first truly global superstar of the modern age. A phenomenon whose combination of explosive pace, impossible skill and ruthless finishing made the game's greatest defenders sing his praises, even as he made them look ordinary. Before injuries, before heartbreak, before glorious redemption, there was a time when many believed they were watching the greatest footballer who had ever lived. This is the Sporting Almanac podcast, and there is only one Ronaldo.
Very high line here, they're onside. Ronaldo, is this the record? It sure is. No one now has scored more goals in the history of the FIFA World Cup finals than Ronaldo.
So we're under agreement that we are not to refer to him as Fat Ronaldo in this episode.
Just Ronaldo.
Just Ronaldo. No other names necessary. He is, and he will always be, to men and women of our age, Ronaldo.
The Ronaldo. Yeah, like you and I would call Cristiano Ronaldo Cristiano. Deliberately so.
I do.
That's not an accident.
Yeah, I do, to make sure that no one accidentally thinks I'm talking about Ronaldo.
Yeah. R9. There's only one R9.
Yeah.
It's like that clip that went viral where that kid asked his dad for a haircut like Cristiano Ronaldo. But the kid said, "Oh, I can have a haircut like Ronaldo." And then his dad gave him the 2002 cut and said, "There's only one Ronaldo, son."
Damn right there is. Iconic haircut. Up there with Beckham's mohawk for most iconic haircuts of the early 2000s.
Yeah. Or the Valderrama perm, as we were talking about on the last episode.
Indeed, yeah.
Or the Baggio ponytail, which didn't even get a mention in the 94 World Cup.
No, it should get mentioned today, though.
Yeah. Yes, it should, because it is a little, it is part of the Ronaldo story.
Yeah. Not his peak, but certainly part of it.
Part of it, though.
It's a good story. He's an interesting guy, is Ronaldo.
Very.
It's a story that's Brazilian to its core, really. Albeit, he wasn't from a very poor background, Ronaldo. Not compared to, I believe Ronaldinho was very much from a sort of a favela background, but Ronaldo was not quite there. But his parents separated when he was 11 years old, and at that point he did drop out of school to try and pursue a career in football. But it wasn't football, which was his first love and his first true talent. It was futsal. And are you able to explain what futsal is to those who don't know?
Like indoor football with it doesn't have to be indoor, but I think it's traditionally played indoor
generally, yeah.
Internationally. Played with I want to say size 4? Could even be a size 3.
It is slightly smaller. I think it's just a futsal size, but it's also heavier.
Yes.
And I used to have one of these for coaching because it is good for ball skills, keeping the ball on the floor. I had to get it out, and every time I got it out, I'd say to people, do not head this ball because you will get a concussion.
Yeah.
They're so heavy. But yeah, the idea is the ball stays on the floor.
Yeah, and it's played on a small pitch, almost like a 5/6-a-side pitch. So less space and time, arguably. Brazilians often play it barefoot, which I don't think is a relevant factor.
Often, yeah.
But is just synonymous with them learning how to control the ball so intimately. And the goals are sort of like, I guess for the English viewer, like, or the British viewer, it's like a hockey goal.
Yeah, hockey goal size.
Like field hockey, that is.
It makes for a good game, to be fair.
Yeah. I've read a book about this, actually, in terms of like why certain countries are good at certain sports. And Brazil's affection and love for futsal, there is a link. I couldn't say it's causative, but certainly a link between the number of players that play that who go on to be very, very good footballers. In the same way that there is a correlation between school rugby in New Zealand and the prolificacy of the All Blacks and so on and so forth, or bouncy fast pitches in Australia and Australian batsmen being good at the short ball, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Futsal and football.
Yeah, and I would say it doesn't matter where you are in the world, if you want to get better at tight control, tight space, quick decision making, and just get better at football in general, because you have loads and loads of touches of the ball during a futsal game. Futsal is superb for it, so it is worth it as a side hobby for any football team.
Yeah, and Ronaldo loved it,
and he was very good at it.
Weird.
Do you want to know how many goals he scored in his first season doing it?
I do.
166. including one game where he scored 11 of his team's 12 goals. So it's fair to say he was good.
Yes. That's quite
reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that is reasonable.
He was so good, he drew the attention of a literal legend of the sport of football, a man named Jairzinho, who you may have heard of.
Heard of this guy, yeah.
Yeah, Jairzinho was a member of the Brazil team in the 1966, 70 and 74 World Cups. They won in 1970, that famous team of Pelé and Carlos Alberto and the rest. He had been the protege and a worshipper of Garrincha, who preceded him both for his club team and for Brazil, and he was known as the best dribbler in the history of the game. So we're talking football pedigree here, and Jairzinho was a man who spotted Ronaldo and invited him to train at São Cristóvão in Rio de Janeiro, where he was a coach, and we recruited him very young, and he went on to play for their under-20 team when he was just 15 years old, but very quickly outgrew the club. He was very quickly and very obviously destined for bigger things.
None of this is surprising me, mate. Like, because
no,
I love him, and I know how good he would go on to become. And he also must have been absurd at that age.
Oh yeah, he must have been absurd. But he was so good that I now have a little bit of a quick tale for you of a team who were clearly run by a bunch of morons, and that team is Flamengo, because Flamengo was Ronaldo's boyhood club, and there was a lot of interest in him while he was at São Cristóvão, including from the likes of Botafogo, Sao Paulo. These are, for anyone who doesn't know, these are massive clubs in Brazil. Flamengo were interested for a time, but dropped their interest in him when he missed a training session due to not having enough money to catch the bus to training. And it was like an hour's bus ride to training. So they passed on him. Morons.
Talk about a fumble.
Mm-hmm. Not just in terms of his talent, but in terms of, well, let's just say there's a bit of money involved in Ronaldo's career going forward.
Yeah.
Because the team he ended up joining was Cruzeiro, which was Jairzinho's former club, on his mentor's advice. He made his pro debut there aged just 16 in May 1993. The team then went on a summer tour to Portugal, where he did so well. Not only did he get himself a place in the first team for the following season, he also had Porto, FC Porto, offering 500,000, the equivalent of 500,000 euros for him to join them, and Cruzeiro said no, because they're not morons.
Yeah, well, that's good business acumen.
Yes, it was good business acumen for two reasons. Firstly, because he scored 44 goals in 47 games for them as a 17-year-old.
Yep.
And secondly, because having then been called up to the international squad in March 1994 for a friendly against Argentina, making his debut, and then scoring his first international goal against Ireland in May that year, and being in the World Cup squad, as we mentioned. He didn't play a game.
And winning the league for them.
Yes, and winning the league for them. I'm skipping over stuff. That's how impressive his 1994 was.
As a child.
Yes, literal child. Obviously, Brazil got to the final.
It's as if Dalman won Arsenal this league by scoring 40 goals. That's the level of absurdity we're talking about.
Yes.
Even Messi didn't do this. Sorry.
No, you carry on interrupting me because I feel like I'm missing stuff. That's how good this guy was.
I'm just saying, like, as a kid, like, at that age group, I don't think this had ever been seen, really.
Well, there's very few people in English football more respected than Sir Bobby Robson was. And Sir Bobby Robson described him as the best teenager he'd ever seen play football. And I think if you watch his clips, some of his highlights, I think that is a fair statement. As I said, he went to the World Cup with Brazil, didn't play a game. Brazil ended up beating Italy on penalties in the final. Roberto Baggio, told you we mentioned him, missing the key penalty. On the back of that, PSV Eindhoven came knocking.
It's probably worth, I mean, the initiated will know, but for those who don't know, who might have just sort of a passing understanding of Brazilian legends, like not playing in 1994, they had a guy called Romario up front.
Oh, he was absurd. Romario was basically... you could do an episode on Romario. We keep coming across these people. You could do an episode on him. He basically was a playboy who happened to be incredibly good at football. If he'd have been as focused on football as he was on shagging, he'd been probably the best player who ever lived.
Yes, he was so good that he kept this little 17-year-old at arm's length with justification.
He did, yeah.
So goes to the World Cup, doesn't play, but Brazil win. I think it probably was quite formative for his international experience. You were saying about Bobby.
Yeah. Really, really positive memories for Ronaldo of that. Even though he didn't play, he said it was very, very key to sort of, as a foundational thing in his career. He learned far more by going and not playing than he would have done by not going, of course. But then, yes, as I say, PSV Eindhoven came knocking. €4.5 million, the equivalent of today. And it was money well spent because he scored 54 goals in 57 games for them. Absurd goal scoring record.
And won them the Dutch Cup.
He did win them the Dutch Cup, yes. We barely even have to mention this. Yeah, scored tons of goals, won trophies. Bada bing, bada boom. He did have his first major injury, actually, the second season that he was at.
Yeah.
PSV Eindhoven. And unfortunately, that was a sad staple of his career. I don't think it was that bad. I think it was an ankle injury.
Oh, maybe it was. Maybe you're right. I might be getting ahead of myself with the cruciate
one was later.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. I don't know. Anyway. Despite that, Sir Bobby Robson came calling because in 1996, for a world record fee at that time of about £13.2 million, only stayed the world record for a short period because Newcastle came along and spent £15 million on Alan Shearer soon after this. But nevertheless, 19 years old, £13.2 million, absurd amount of money. Like we're talking 100 million probably by today's standards, if not more, for a 19-year-old. He joined Barcelona in the summer of 1996.
Yes.
And how good was he at Barcelona?
Quite good. I mean, can I give you a quote from Luis Enrique?
Go for it.
You know, Luis Enrique, the back-to-back Champions League winning manager, who also had an illustrious career at Barcelona himself and won the Champions League for them as a manager. He said, I had seen him, as in Ronaldo, on television at PSV and thought, wow. Then he came to Barcelona. He's the most spectacular player I've ever seen. And then he basically said he did things I've never seen before. We're now used to seeing people like Messi dribbling past six players, but not back then. Ronaldo was a beast.
Now, this is a bold statement because I'm sure there probably were strikers of a similar ilk, but thinking about the strikers from like the early 90s, think about like Gary Lineker, Alan Shearer, obviously from an English perspective, you tended towards a more classical striker, as you will. Good finisher, fox in the box, target man, that kind of aspect. Ronaldo could pick the ball, it did pick the ball up at the halfway line for Barcelona, skin pretty much the entire team, and score an absolute worldie for them. It was such a good goal that Sir Bobby Robson had his hands on his head after it. It's like something, I think it was, we have seen a lot of this since, and we have seen Messi, and we have seen Ronaldinho, and we have seen class players like that, but I don't think there were that many people that preceded him. Not as a striker, not through the middle, not direct like that and powerful.
Well, this is it. He's a game changer.
Something else.
He was a bit like a Lomu on the wing in rugby.
Yeah, exactly.
Just complete change in philosophy as to how you see a position played. I've got another quote for you because I think it kind of
Go for it.
Gets to the point of what you're talking about. Rudi Voller, who was quite good.
Yeah.
He won the World Cup. He himself a striker playing for Leverkusen, Bayer Leverkusen.
A very different type of striker than Ronaldo, but nevertheless.
No, exactly. The kind of striker you're talking about. He played against PSV in the UEFA Cup in 94-95 and Ronaldo scored a hat-trick. And Rudi Voller, the World Cup winning Rudi Voller, said, never in my life have I ever seen an 18-year-old play in this way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the timing it's similar to Tiger Woods and to Jordan and to sort of that, I guess, the the sporting superstar of the 90s, and he was so young and so talented. And so, I mean, put it this way, Nike offered him a 10-year contract as a 19, 20-year-old for millions and millions and millions to be the football, star of their brand. Basically, that's how good he was. It's scary to think how good he could have been had it not been for
injuries.
Yeah. Just injuries. The only thing, really.
Because he banged
and whatever the hell happened in 98.
Well, for sure. But we'll come to that. He absolutely banged them at Barca before that. Took home a Cup Winners' Cup. Took home a Copa del Rey. Took home a Super Cup of Spain. Supercopa de España, to give it its official title. Loved it.
European Golden Boot.
Yeah, European
Golden Shoe, as they call it.
Just smashed them.
47 goals in 49 games.
For Barcelona, as a child, still, effectively.
Yeah.
20, maybe? 19?
There is no level that can contain him at this stage of his career. Like, everywhere he goes, he's getting very, very near a goal a game, which is absurd. What Harry Kane is doing in Germany at the moment is unheard of.
Yes.
Anywhere near a goal a game is just absurd.
But this is the thing, like people like Kane and Messi and Lewandowski before and that, like in terms of their goal-scoring prowess, like they're walking down the path that Ronaldo forged.
Exactly. He was the original superstar of our era of football.
Unbelievable talent. But yeah, doesn't stay at Barcelona very long.
No, he didn't. There was a contract dispute and he had a release clause in his contract as... it is the case now that it's required in every Spanish contract, or it certainly was. I presume it was the case there as well. But anyway, Inter Milan activated said clause, broke Alan Shearer's world record transfer fee, in doing so nearly £20 million for him, 19 and a half. And so, again, broke the world record. And again, he was off to play in a new level of football, because in the 90s, there was probably no league harder to play in, which is not the case now. In the 90s, there was no league harder to play in than Serie A.
Yeah. It was probably the Premier League, wasn't it? Like, as in like the Premier League rather than the Premier League. Confusingly.
Yeah. The Premier League was not quite the Premier League then. This is a Serie A with like Paolo Maldini, Alessandro Nesta, Fabio Cannavaro, the best defenders who have ever lived playing in that league at this point in history. And
he goes and he wins the UEFA Cup.
Yeah, and he scores 34 goals in his first season. There is no level that can contain him.
And that leads us nicely into the 1998.
And he won the FIFA World Player of the Year and the Ballon d'Or. Should mention that as well.
Personal accolades.
Yeah, just put simply, he was the best player in the world.
Yeah, and like that leads us, that's what I was saying, it leads us very nicely into the 1998 World Cup in France, where Brazil go in.
I've got a quote for you.
Yes, please.
I've got a quote for you.
Yes, please.
Paolo Maldini, the best players I've ever played against in my life are Diego Maradona and Ronaldo. That is all.
That's a mental sentence.
That's literally the best compliment you could get.
Maldini.
For the best defender who's ever lived.
Maldini's like, he was all right.
He was a Diego Maradona of defenders.
Saying,
with less cocaine.
I'd put him in the same category. God. Yeah. Mate, I'm sure we're going to come across other people waxing lyrical about him as we continue to tell this story. But 1998 is really interesting because it's almost the start of a very peculiar story which has a ridiculously good redemption arc.
Almost the best redemption arc in history, but what happened in 1998 is still unexplained. And that's why it falls into that same category as we talked about with Andres Escobar's episode of like true crimey sort of conspiracy theory kind of vibes, because it's never been adequately explained what happened.
Shall I give you the build-up?
Yeah, give me the build-up, yeah.
Obviously, Brazil go in and they're shit hot. Like they're one of the favourites, if not the favourite to win it. He's the best player in the world, as you say. He only scores one goal in the group stage. He gets one in a 3-0 win over Morocco. Brazil actually lost. I don't know if you remember this. They lost to Norway 2-1.
Yeah.
And they also
beat Scotland, I think, in their other game, didn't they?
They beat Scotland. And so they actually still topped their group. And so they go into the knockout rounds, and this is when Ronaldo comes alive. So they get Chile in the last 16, and he scores twice in a 4-1 win.
Nice.
They then play Denmark in the quarterfinals, who put up a much stronger fight than I remember, but I was 10. Denmark only go down 3-2.
Nice.
They also had like a great team, John Dahl Thomason and people like that, didn't they?
Schmeichel in goal.
Yeah. They were also European. Well, not European champions, but recently European champions in that era.
Yeah, the second most recent European champions, 92.
Yeah.
With a few players left over still.
So they were good. Ronaldo didn't score in that game, but 3-2 win. Then was the 1-1 draw against the Netherlands, which is famous for the penalty shootout in the semi-final. 1-1, Ronaldo gets the 1. Brazil go through 4-2 on pens. So he scored 4 goals and made 3 assists en route to the final in, what's that? 6 games. Seven goal contributions in 6 games.
Solid.
Then we get to the final, Jack, and all hell breaks loose, doesn't it?
It was. I remember it. I was probably a bit too young. I certainly didn't have the context to fully appreciate what was happening. But essentially what happens is the Brazil team sheet comes out and Ronaldo's name is not on it. And the entire world is stunned, and the assumption is he's injured. He must be injured.
And Edmundo is starting up front.
Who was not Ronaldo.
No.
Bless him. Don't get me wrong. A Brazil international, good player, but not quite the same type or level of striker. And then the team sheet comes out again. And this time Ronaldo is on it. And just between that singular pair of incidents, there is conspiracy theories galore just on that.
I think there was 32 minutes maybe between the two team sheets. So it's like an hour and 10 minutes, something like that, before kickoff when everyone realised he wasn't playing. And then it was only about 45 minutes before kickoff where it sort of emerged that he was actually now back in the team.
Yeah.
And I like you, remember this really vividly, because I just remember being a child and thinking, why on earth is Ronaldo not playing? And then also being aware that there was a load of hysteria around the fact that he actually now was playing and everyone being very confused as to what was going on.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any of the context, as you say. So it's just sort of a confused 10-year-old wondering what was going on.
I mean, at that age, and this is how football is marketed and how football works, is you're not looking forward to watching Brazil play. You're looking forward to watching Ronaldo play. And I don't particularly remember looking forward to watching Zidane play. In hindsight, I should have been.
Foolishly.
In that final.
Yeah.
Obviously, them playing France, but that had not reached my consciousness yet. Ronaldo sure as hell had. I was desperately unhappy and then desperately pleased to see his name out and then in again in the team. But at no point did it... I mean, it seemed weird, but that is so unusual. I've never seen that ever happen before.
Or since.
Well, I've never seen it happen since. It's the more important thing. That's where my vast majority of my football context comes from. Almost all of it, in fact. And it's bizarre. But yeah, the conspiracy theories are, the first one, the most famous one, is Nike forced Ronaldo to play, was the first one. In that they saw his name wasn't on the team sheet. They said, we ain't having that. If he can play, he will play. He did play. He was extremely subdued, not his normal self at all. Obviously, it's not a spoiler to say France won comfortably. 3-0 win for France. Zinedine Zidane scoring 2 of the goals. Emmanuel Petit will come to V, our Arsenal FC, scoring the other goal.
Yeah. And
he was nowhere, Ronaldo.
Well, he's been described as sleepwalking through the final, and Zagallo, the then Brazil coach, he is on record as having said that basically that he had suffered a fit or something, and that he then had come round and said that he felt fine and requested to play and been reinstated, and he agreed. But then during the first half, he could see that he was sort of psychologically off it and just a bit subdued, and it was affecting the team, and he was wondering whether he should sub him, but was concerned that it would cause basically a public outcry in Brazil if he had done so. So he sort of left him on. But yeah.
I would have done the same. Obviously, I'm nowhere near the level of Mario Zagallo, but I would not have taken him off in that circumstance because it's all anyone would talk about. And he's still a kid, and it could, ruin a promising career, or at least put a dent in a promising career if you do that.
Yeah. And it's really interesting because I think when you get into like the theories about what happened and the fit, the team doctor, he has an interesting take on it, because apparently there was an inquest launched in Brazil, a commission.
Well, that's no surprise.
Into like what happened, and the doctor testified at it and said, "Imagine if I had stopped Ronaldo playing and Brazil lost. At that moment, I would have had to have gone and lived in the North Pole."
Yeah. I mean, there's other conspiracy theories too.
Yeah, let's hear them.
Some of them that I will pay heed to, and some of them which I will dismiss as insulting. The first one, which is insulting, is that Brazil deliberately threw the final, that they were somehow bribed or manipulated into throwing the final, which is a World Cup final. It's Brazil. There's zero chance that would ever happen. Ronaldo himself has described any insinuations of that's being absolutely absurd and insulting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then there's other theories like he had an adverse reaction to medication. Maybe he did. No one's got any proof of that. Who knows? Another controversial one, he was poisoned, is one that's been going around. Obviously, there's absolutely no evidence whatsoever for that, but people like to speculate, don't they?
Yes.
And the final one, pressure got to him, that he decided it was too much for him, that he didn't want to play, and then got persuaded round later. And it was then sort of described as a seizure as opposed to being a nervous breakdown. I mean, pressure certainly didn't affect him next time he played in the World Cup final, put it that way.
And he had already been to the 1994 World Cup, albeit having not played, and experienced a World Cup final.
He had a winner's medal already, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, he would always be a World Cup winner, irrespective. So I find that one a little bit fanciful, especially given as well that he played in a series of domestic finals, played for some of the biggest clubs in Europe, like taking the world by storm. Like, all of a sudden that he gets the jitters over an hour and a half, having got to the tournament by being the joint third highest scorer and with 7 goal contributions in 6 games, and then going on to be named the Golden Ball winner, which basically means you're the best player in the tournament.
It's a very polite way of putting it's bullshit.
Yeah.
That, Ben.
Yes, it is, mate. Thank you for cutting through the nonsense that I was spewing to try and be polite. It is absolute garbage.
Yeah. There's no reason not to believe the official story.
I think he was poorly.
Even if it was stress-related seizure or something like that, it happens.
Yeah.
Ultimately, they wouldn't have left him off the team sheet for any reason other than a medical emergency because he was the best player in the world. Did we mention that?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think we can move on past 1998 because quite a lot still to come.
Well, not a lot domestically.
No.
Because he gets injured.
He does. And this is like as bad as 98 was, 1999. November 1999, catastrophic knee injury. We're talking probably a few years before would have ended his career. Like, we've talked about this before, keyhole surgery, knee surgery is way better now than it was in the 90s. In the 90s, it was way better than it was in the 80s.
Yeah.
And exponentially from there.
In the 90s, like 18-month injury still, though.
Yeah. It wasn't, to be fair, it wasn't that bad for him, but that was probably because he was rushed back. It was only about 6 months for him the first time. But it was 6 minutes until he did his knee again on his return.
Well,
so,
yeah,
there you go. His kneecap tendon ruptured. Medical staff described as one of the worst football injuries they'd seen in years. And it basically robbed him, on the whole, of like 2 years' worth of football, having been the best player on the planet, having played in a World Cup final. And he was so explosive as well. Everyone was like, well, he's not going to be the same player. And in many ways, he wasn't the same player afterwards.
Yeah. It was the step overs and the change of directions that was like prime Ronaldo. And we'll get to it. But there was he flirted with glimpses of that in 2002, but he definitely wasn't as explosive and dynamic as he was prior to that knee injury or those knee injuries.
No, but he adapted. He adapted his game. He was a very different player. He certainly bulked up.
Yes, he did.
And I don't mean that as... No. There's one thing we're not doing in this episode.
No, but he carried a bit of timber. Yeah, stronger.
He was definitely stronger, definitely more muscular, and lots of rehabilitation, lots of operations, and basically what it led to was one of the greatest sporting comebacks ever. Arguably in football.
The 2002 World Cup, are we there?
I think we're about there. In the meantime, he's moved. Has he moved again?
Not
Had he gone to Real Madrid by this point?
I think he is about to join Real Madrid. He joins in this. He
joined them in 2002.
In this summer, I think, after this World Cup. Yeah. Probably in no small part because of this World Cup. Like, the haircut, mate. We've already mentioned it. Iconic. He's got his whole head shaved apart from the front part of the top of his head. Like a fringe on its own. A short fringe, albeit, but a fringe nonetheless.
I mean, it certainly drew attention away from any talk about injuries or anything like that, put it that way. I'm not sure if that was the intention, but would have worked if so.
He didn't need the haircut to divert the attention. Has the boy still got it? Okay, well, he scores in every single group game. 1 in a 2-1 win over Turkey, 1 in a 4-0 win over China, and 2 in a 5-2 win over Costa Rica. Then, knockout round. Scores in every round except the quarter-final against England, which we'll come to quickly in passing. But
Briefly, yeah.
one in the 2-0 win over Belgium in the last 16. Then they play England in the quarterfinals, which is famous for the Ronaldinho lob over Seaman from the free kick.
It happens.
Brazilians beat us 2-1. So then they play Turkey in the semi-final. He scores the 1 in a 1-0 win. And then we get to the final. And what does he do?
He's already 6 goals deep in this tournament. I don't know if he'd already bagged the Golden Boot, but there or thereabouts, the Golden Boot. But if it was ever in doubt, by the end of the game, it wasn't. Against the best goalkeeper in the world at the time, who, to be fair, did not have his best game, but nevertheless, you still got to put it past him.
If you want to know how good Oliver Kahn was, despite the fact that Ronaldo would win the Golden Boot and basically score in every round, bar one, they gave Oliver Kahn the Golden Ball.
Yeah.
So
it was incredible.
So Oliver Kahn was unbelievable that year. Because we've said this about that Germany side. It was good, but it wasn't great, but it had some great players.
For about 2 or 3 years, from like 99, 2000, through to like 2002, 2003 kind of time, I'd never seen a better goalkeeper in my life. It's certainly a better shot stopper and a more physical presence than Oliver Kahn. He was incredible. Like that Champions League final that they won in 2001. Obviously couldn't stop United in 99, but that World Cup particularly, he was just absolutely astonishingly good, but did make a mistake in the final.
And what did Ronaldo do to him?
Well, capitalised on a poor bit of shot stopping to tap in a goal.
The second goal is not as tap in though.
No, it was brilliant. Just so memorable. Just like
a step over. By
the age of 14, watching this in 2002, I knew the context. I knew the Lazarus story. I remembered what had happened in 1998. This is perfect story writing.
Oh, so good. Yeah.
It's just
bags of brace.
Just wonderful. 2-0 win for Brazil.
Yeah, bags of brace, 2-0 win. He scores them both. 8 goals for the tournament. Golden Boot winner. Obviously World Cup winner. Second World Cup winning medal. Third consecutive involvement in a final. Yeah, redemption arc complete. But not story complete.
No, not story complete. Firstly, I know you don't want to talk about individual awards, but he basically won them all in 2002. FIFA World Player of the Year, Ballon d'Or for the second time. He's one of only a small handful of players to have won those awards more than once. He is brilliant. And obviously Real Madrid then go out and stick him in their Galacticos project alongside Zidane, Luis Figo, eventually David Beckham joins there as well. Michael Owen as well.
Yeah.
Not quite as famous as the rest at Real, but nevertheless.
No, unbelievable that side. And at Real Madrid, 2 La Liga titles, a Supercopa de España, as we were saying earlier, and the Club World Cup, the Intercontinental Cup.
Yeah, and a standing ovation at Old Trafford.
Yes.
Which is hard to come by as an away player for scoring a hat-trick there.
Yeah.
An incredible match of football, to be fair.
It was. Didn't win the Champions League, though, which is, unlucky.
No.
Considering...
For a Real Madrid player, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Statistically improbable, you'd probably argue.
I mean, we haven't even mentioned the fact that he, in all of this time, he also just happened to bag 2 Copa America victories in 97 and 99 and a runners-up medal in the Copa America in 1995 and won the Confederations Cup in 1997, which just adds, just quickly to take us back to the 98 theories, this guy's not worried about finals.
No. And I was just going to say, I think Brazilians would actually forgive us for forgetting them because Brazil they just want to win the World Cup.
Yeah, World Cup.
They're very good at that.
Yeah, they are very good at it.
Usually, anyway.
Well, yeah. I mean, the irony is that we've just spoken about their last ever victory.
We have, yeah.
Which
this is about as long as they've gone without one.
Yeah.
Since they won their first. In fact, it is as long as they've gone without one since they won their first. Joint. If they don't win this year, it'll be longer than they've ever gone before since they won their first. But yeah, to go to 2006 World Cup then?
Yeah, just to finish the World Cup's experience.
Because I do need to quietly whisper there was some vile accusations going around about Ronaldo by 2006 about possibly not being in his finest figure by that point.
Didn't stop him scoring.
No, it didn't stop him scoring, even if he was a bit chubby. In fact, at this point, he was 2 goals away from being the all-time World Cup goal scorer. So what does he go and do in the tournament?
Well,
bags 3 goals.
Yeah. Scores 2 goals against Japan in the third match to become the 20th player to score in 3 World Cups and to equal the all-time World Cup finals goal scoring record of 14, which was then held by Gerd Müller, also extremely good.
Incredible.
Yeah. And then he broke Muller's record in the round of 16 in a game against Ghana when he scored his 15th career World Cup goal. Yeah, third goal of the tournament. Only the second player ever after Jurgen Klinsmann to score at least 3 goals in each of the 3 World Cups that he played in, which is another incredible statistic.
Yeah, it's a good little stat that. I actually didn't know that one.
Yeah.
15 goals, which was the record till Miroslav Klose beat her.
Yes.
And that was the record until tonight, as we're recording.
Until tonight, Messi got 2 in the end.
He did, yeah. He's 18 now, Messi's on.
Yeah, with Mbappe, with the right of reply.
And that will be the record until Mbappe.
Yeah, not too long away. But oh mate, there's something really nice about this, right? I don't know if you picked up on this little subtlety, but Brazil were knocked out in the quarters by France in a Zidane masterclass, but with a goal by Henry.
It's an opera.
Yeah, it is opera.
It's honestly, it's a I know we say this a lot, but you could put that game on in the Louvre and it wouldn't look out of place. It was artistry from Zidane.
So good.
It makes me so angry when people say he's overrated in any way, shape, or form. Shut up, you know nothing. That is all.
Yeah, oh God, like just don't talk to us about Zinedine. But yeah, I just like the fact that it was a Zidane masterclass with an Henry goal. Just something about another great striker who was just entering his prime years, ending the sort of the World Cup career of one of the greatest to ever do it. 15 and 19 appearances at the World Cup.
Yeah.
And went to 4 World Cups, made 3 finals, and scored more goals than anyone to ever do it.
It is easy to forget he has 2 winners' medals.
Yeah.
Which puts him on a very small group who do basically just Brazilians and Italians, I presume, who have that.
Must be.
But yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, must be.
Unbelievable.
Unless there's any extremely long-lasting Germans. But yeah.
He's
incredible.
Obviously, I'm glad we've spoken about him for a whole episode. I mean, he obviously
should point out that's male players.
Oh, yeah, of course. It goes back to Brazil.
And players, because there's been coaches who... Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, you don't need to caveat how good Ronaldo is, mate. Like, if people are not reading the nuance there, then they're not an audience I would like to retain. Ronaldo is extraordinarily good. Went back to Corinthians in Brazil and still managed to bag a league title and a Brazilian cup before the career was out. So wasn't quite done. But yeah.
No. I mean, more injuries. Sadly, more knee injuries. But hey, it was done.
It was done, and the legend had been told.
Yeah, I mean, he scored 352 goals in 518 club appearances and 62 goals in 98 matches for Brazil. Those are extremely good numbers, no matter which way you look at them. He will get compared, obviously, to other people with a similar name to him who may have scored more goals than that. But the thing you've got to remember about Ronaldo compared to Cristiano Ronaldo is Cristiano Ronaldo has never had a major injury, to my knowledge, to my memory. He has had some injuries in his career, but nothing that's derailed him. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's an absolute marvel, a fitness freak.
Yeah, athlete.
Who makes the most of his mediocre talent. I'm kidding, of course, he's very good. He's no Ronaldo, though.
He's certainly no Ronaldo. It comes back to what me and you were saying at the very beginning, is that he's the first to really do this in the position that he was doing it, and that always will stand him in incredible stead when compared to people who have followed his lead. It's all very well and good people saying, oh, well, like Cristiano scored more goals, or Messi scored more goals, or Mbappe scored more goals, blah, blah, blah. Like, we'll say Kane, Lewandowski. There's plenty of people that have come since who have been absolute goal machines. But this is the guy that made the position where you could become the goal machine in the way that they have. Like, there are better wingers in rugby than Jonah Lomu. Like,
yeah,
but none of them were Jonah Lomu.
No, I mean, how to describe this? I mean, I don't want to drag him around different generations, but you could pluck him and put him anywhere. You could put him in the modern age, fully fit, back when he was 19, 20 years old, and he'd be the best 19, 20-year-old in the world today. You could pluck him and put him in the 60s or 70s, and he'd just be the best player who ever lived. If you swapped him with Pele, or put him in the team with Pele, we wouldn't be talking about Pele as highly as we do. I guarantee it. Ronaldo would have destroyed people of that era, albeit he would be playing on heavier pitches and he'd get the shit kicked out of him every day. But the level of talent was extraordinary, and it is just a shame the level of fitness didn't match it.
He's like the quantum leap that you see in sport sometimes. So like you have
he's Tiger Woods.
Yeah, you have a standard that you like is exponentially improving, and everyone's on that bell curve where you can look at it and say, look, people, he's just slightly better than him, he's slightly better than him, but they're all of a similar talent base, just incrementally improving. Then you get those people that do the quantum leap where they jump 2 or 3 levels that have never been seen before, and that's what Ronaldo was.
Yeah, he's Tiger, he's Serena, he's pluck a name out.
Federer, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's Usain Bolt, whatever. It's just it's difficult not to be biased because
we were impressionable children.
7, 8 years old when he first came to Europe. Moved to Barcelona, first started hearing about him, and then obviously 10 years old for that World Cup. Very impressionable children, but my God, we were so blessed. It's weird thinking back because this was the days before YouTube. Like, we had probably. What did we have? Like Channel 4 would probably have foreign football programs on.
Yeah, what was it?
Like,
can't remember the name of the Italian
Football Italia
show.
Or whatever
Football
it's called.
Italia, that was it. Yes.
Yeah, and that's how you'd get your highlights. You wouldn't get on YouTube. Like, in this generation, everyone in the world would have seen every single goal that he'd ever scored from, Cruzeiro onwards, basically.
Yeah.
It's a completely different age. For us in 1998, just watching him at the World Cup, along with the highlights package they'd stick on before or whatever else. Like, I'd never seen anything like it.
No.
Not before or since, really, but like, he's like Superman.
I've not seen anyone who captured my imagination and shocked me the way he has. And I guess it's because of that exact point, is that you sort of, in the same way that, people can just watch TV shows as soon as they come out now, you don't have to wait for the next episode. Like, we only got to see him at certain points, and when you saw him, he was a marvel. Whereas, like, even with someone like Messi, who is clearly like just incredible and is one of those players that's like quantum leap improvement. Like, you saw it happening the whole time because, like you say, you can watch it on YouTube, you watch it on Sky or whatever, or
Sky Sports. Yeah.
Like, and obviously all international tournaments are shown on TV as well. So then you don't ever have to wait to see him. You're like he's always in your consciousness. Whereas Ronaldo is like a guy that just popped up every now and again in certain circumstances, and you were like, geez, who is this guy? And like, what is he doing?
I remember us gathering around TVs just because Messi was on TV, like 2006, university even, just like you'd watch the game because there's a La Liga game on. Oh, Messi's playing. Fantastic. You didn't have that with Ronaldo.
No.
It's crazy. Like, the World Cup was sort of it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make us sound like we're ancient or anything.
No, but
we are getting that way.
But there's a bit of a difference between... We've lived through a weird transitional media reform, if you like, pivot.
You could say that again.
Yeah, even the way it's even spoken about. But that's a story for a different day, a moan for a different day. Shall we leave the great man there? Have we done him sufficient justice?
I think we've expressed our love for him and our respect for him, and just the simple fact that there will never be anyone else like him. And no matter how much I love Messi and begrudgingly respect Cristiano Ronaldo, I will never love this much.
There's only one Ronaldo, mate.
There's only one Ronaldo.
Right. We've got a few more episodes lined up. We're a bit too dysfunctional and disorganised to know exactly which one we're doing next, but it's all World Cup. It's all World Cup, baby.
We don't even know when we're recording, but we'll get it done.
Yeah, and the World Cup's got plenty of time still to rumble on.
We've got plenty of time.
We've got plenty of time. So until the next one.
Till the next one. See you there.
See you in a bit. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us for this episode. Oh look, Messi just scored again. He's quite good. Got a couple more episodes planned at least for our World Cup series, so please do tune back in and tell your friends about us. Either of those would be very much appreciated. Our theme tune is Oh Yeah by Harmony Productions. You find us on Instagram and Blue Sky at The Sporting Almanac. Next up, we'll be talking about some controversial hosts of World Cups past. Until then, if today's story tells you anything, it's that no matter what life throws at you, disappointment, heartbreak, injury or ill luck, keep going. Redemption can always be found for those who refuse to give up. Good night.